Friday, January the 6th, and this is my personal yoga practice. Getting started. Short forward fold to get out any pops in the neck and spine. A lot of sensation on the neck. Still have kind of a nagging neck sensation on the right side. So no headstands, because the neck hurts. Not until that goes away. There we go, low back's good. Get the timer started. And hey, look at that, already got somebody. What is this? Downward facing dog. So the hands about shoulder width apart, feet about hips width apart, and relax. Straighten the spine, trade the back in line with the arms and the knees if needed. As the body slowly gets to where it needs to go. For a little more than 2 minutes. So just feel the body. Wiggle things around a little bit. Rotate the pelvis a little bit. Use the core to rotate the pelvis. Get the bottom up in the air. Maybe straighten the legs, relax the calves. The ankles bend, feel the stretch of the calves. Breathe through the nose if you can. I can exhale through my nose. I can't inhale through my nose right now. Just relax and enjoy the pose. Feels like my feet are falling asleep. They're not, so it's just the nerve portion is apparently getting stretched or something. Huh. Fascinating. Relax. I keep feeling a sensation in my abdominal area on the right side. I'm not sure what that's from. Maybe for some reason it feels like it might be because I've got some heavyweight pants on, pushing into the right side or something. That's interesting. And feel the shoulders. So yeah, there's effort in the shoulders to keep the hands where they are instead of having the hands slide out. Rotate the pelvis a little more. Try to straighten the legs a little more. Use the quads. Keep the arms straight. Straighten the back. Rotate the pelvis. For another 5 seconds. And that is that. Alright. Brief hero pose to transition. Yeah, thanks, man. Alright. Next up is upward facing dog. All right. Feel that, the low back. Thanks, sir. Appreciate that. All right. Hey, the low back is feeling good today. Straight up into that, but the neck is not feeling so great. It's still not feeling great.
Because I did a headstand a couple days ago and that hurt the neck. That's why you don't do headstands, because it hurts your neck. I did it, I hurt my neck, and so now I can't do headstands. Yay. And then keep relaxing. Got another 2 minutes. It's interesting. I feel the sensation right between the top vertebrae of the back and the bottom vertebrae of the neck. And if I slowly work at it, it starts to get better. Or the neck will allow itself to get into place. So I'll just have to wait for that to go. Usually the low back is the limiting factor. And feel the stretch. Yeah, the neck is really bothering me. But that's okay. Get back to neutral position, and the neck's all good. So, with the neck the way that it is, I send a lot of conscious awareness to the neck. I still feel a stretch on the forearms and the low back, but I've got to send a lot of conscious presence and awareness to the neck. And I'm actually shifting over to the left a little bit because to compensate on the right. Another 30 seconds. Bring some company. Yeah, be nice, huh? Yeah, we'll see. Just relax. Enjoy the pose. And that is that. All right. Short hero pose. Let the hands get back to where they are. And next up is wheel pose. All right, let's get where I can be seen. There we go. And that's a wheel pose for another 2.5 minutes, maybe. Let's reposition the hands a little bit. There we go. Feel that abdomen. Yeah, I feel a big stretch on the abdomen. Really stretching the abdomen and the front of the thighs. And all the muscles that connect to the front of the pelvis. Yeah, that's getting a huge stretch. As well as the front side of the shoulders. Yeah. And there's no place for the rib cage to go, right? So breathing, you have to push out the abdomen so that breathing stretches the abdomen even more. Feel the floating ribs actually push in a little bit. Wow, that was quick. Arms getting tired. Focus. Concentrate. That's it for that. Alright. Alright, and then we'll finish off with a little bit of camel pose. Just project the neck. But feel the stretch. Better stretch on the shoulders this time. Change the hands to thighs so I can rotate the spine a little more. careful with the neck. Trying to get it into a good spot. And feel a stretch on the throat. There we go. And that's that. All right. Next up is. All right. Thank you. Yeah, cool stuff. Next up is forward fold. This is the real forward fold because I just did a bunch of back bending, posterior flex of the spine. Now I'm going to do some anterior flex of the spine, forward bending. Best way to start that off was just a plain Jane forward fold. If your hamstrings aren't up to it, right, feel free to bend the knees. My hamstrings are up to it, so I keep the legs straight. Get your parts out of the way. Get the heel, the ankles, the balls of the feet just barely touching. Let the head relax. Interlace the arms. Let the pelvis rotate. Let the spine dangle. Neck and the spine dangle. So yeah, here's where you really create some space in the vertebrae. If you can relax your back, right? So it depends on what you're working on. Flip the arms to keep it balanced. If you want to feel that space between the vertebrae, right? And not working the hamstrings so much, feel free to bend the knees. And then let the upper body relax as much as you can. Careful with the ankles, right? You gotta, your feet rotate on the earth, right? And if they push too far this way, the ankles have too much sensation. That's why we put all the three parts together, so that you can feel the proper alignment of the feet. And then if you can, if you want, you can put the hands under the feet for a different balance challenge. Because your hands are squishier than the floor. So it's not as easy to balance using the balls of your feet. You have to do more balance with your heels. Your heels have a smaller profile than the balls of your feet. So you need more effort to balance. But then this also allows you to pull gently with your arms to feel a nice sensation. Feel more space in the vertebrae. For another 25 seconds. And relax. Feel the breath slide in and out of the body. Straighten the legs. Keep your balance. Feel that sensation. Straighten the back to rotate the pelvis. And that is that. All right. Time for the fireworks. Big stuff. The cool stretches. All right. So next up, today's the 6th. So get over to the right-hand side. My right-hand side. Left-hand side of the camera, apparently. And foot behind the head. So bring the foot into the shoulder or into the chest. Find that easily, right? You can cradle the leg if it's not feeling so easy. If you got to stretch out the hip, that's where you go. About 2.5 minutes left. And then there's a transition where the muscles slide over the bone. Always be careful with that. And then, yeah, just kind of get the foot behind there. Looks like I need to go a little further up. There we go. Look at that. But one of the most important things is find a sustainable pose. So I can't get the shin all the way behind, but then that gives me a little bit too much sensation on the thigh. Because there's a lot going on in this pose with the thigh. Not the least of which is that the
blood flow gets constricted. So if you stand here long enough, the foot's going to fall asleep. And then get only so much sensation that you can tolerate. And I think I'm good here. And the left arm is around the right foot to help keep the right leg behind the head. And the right arm is also pressing into the calf, the shin a little bit, also to help keep the leg behind the neck, so that I don't have to use as much effort with my back and neck muscles to keep the leg back there. So yeah, right? And hey, look at that. There's the foot behind the head, right? Makes a great pillow. And just relax. Enjoy the pose. Lots of sensation on the right thigh. So yeah, I've got a lot of room to grow in this pose, which is cool. Because like the forward fold, yeah, I don't seem to have much growth left in that guy. I feel some stretch, but not that much. Whereas here, I feel a large stretch in the right thigh. So that's cool. Or a stretch where there's a lot of room for growth in it. And that's it for that side. All right, very slowly. Very, very slowly you get out. Because this leg is very delicate now because you constricted the blood flow. And you have this massive stretch on the right thigh, so you have to be really careful with it. Get ready for the next side. Get the timer out. Get the timer started. All right. So, from here, we start off the same way. Ever so gently. Pull the foot up. And this also went outside the hip. And then you can get the foot into the chest. You can bring the shin into the chest. When I pull it from here, this muscle's on one side of the bone. And then here, the muscle flips over to the other side of the bone. So you gotta be careful with that. And I keep harping on that all the time because you really do have to be careful with that. Alright, so bring this down. Because you'll feel this. You'll feel that muscle flipping over there. And the first time you start to do that, you feel that, you don't know what's happening, number one. And number two, if you're trying to do a stretch and then the muscle flips over to the other side of the bone, that's not good. And you're not ready for it. And you're trying to do an intense stretch, and that's not going to work out for you. The body's going to say, hey, you shouldn't have done that. And you'll freak out and make things not any good. So, in any case, a little bit surprisingly, got the left leg behind the head. So my left side is just a little less open than my right. And I've got a lot of sensation on the left thigh. More sensation than on the right thigh. I'm not sure if that's sustainable. So I gotta let out a little bit. Let that take a little break. And that muscle, the bone keeps changing positions. So I'm trying to find a sustainable spot. Interestingly, if I flip over towards the right side, it's actually a little easier. That seems to lessen the sensation on the outside of the thigh to a point where it is a sustainable pose. So, that's what I'll do. I'm going to hold the pose for another 40 seconds. Relax, close your eyes, just feel the muscle. Relax. It's okay. You're safe. The muscle's fine. Assuming you are inside of your pain threshold, right? There's pain and then there's sensation. If you feel pain, you've gone too far. It should only be sensation. Just feel that. And that is that. Wow, that's pretty intense on the left side. Alright, so there we go. Next up, wide splits. Good way to start off wide splits, right? Just sit on the floor and you can put your hands back. Eventually you start to go forward and you'll get the feet further apart. You get the feet further and further apart. Eventually to the point where you can fold over. There we go. And you get the man parts out of the way so you don't get crushed by the pelvis. Reach the arms out. And relax. And at about a minute in, I'm going to start a shoulder stretch. So another 10 seconds. And today's the 6th. So I start with the right side first on even days. Alright, feel that stretch on the right shoulder. A little pillow for the chin. Yeah, so one of the little things that I do is on even numbered days, right, 2nd, 4th, 6th, I will stretch, for stretches that are not symmetric, that you have both the left side and the right side, I will generally stretch the right side of my body first on even numbered days, and then stretch the left side, and then stretch the left side of my body first on odd numbered days. This way, for the different days, I will start with one side or the other first. Because I have found in my own practice that if I only ever start with the right side first, it's a different sensation. Well, one side gets more stretched than the other side. And usually the second side seems to have a tendency to have a better stretch than the first side. So you'll become more and more flexible on one side as compared to the other. I mean, you'll still grow, and you'll still have more flexibility than before on both sides. However, the second side that you stretch generally seems to be the side that gains more benefit in the stretch. So, on different days, I swap which side I do first. And I talk too much, so I have to give this side some bonus time so that I can equalize out. I spend about 1.5 minutes on the right shoulder, so I got to spend about 1.5 minutes on the left shoulder. So about another minute. And then use the upper body, the torso, the abs, to place the upper body to get as much sensation as you want on the left shoulder. And relax. Keep breathing. You can feel the left hand falling asleep. For about 10 more seconds. And there we go. Very cool. Get the timer started. Next up is handstand practice. Alright, so I think I'll start from the squat. So bring the legs in. So your heels on the floor. Elbows inside the knees. You can straighten back if you want. You can keep it curved. Hands together. That's your yogi squat. Yay. From here, get the hands out about shoulder width apart, and like your middle fingers, right? That's like the direction your hand is pointing. Get your middle fingers so that they're about 90 degrees apart. Or that's the way I like to do it, because if I do the middle fingers parallel, that doesn't feel good on my wrists. So I do fingers at 90 degrees apart, and that seems to work good with my wrists. Starter pose on this is crow pose. So you can lift up, place the shin into the tricep. There we go. Feel that. Look at that. There's some balance. Feel balance in the hands. And when you get bored with that, next is to lift up the hips. Oh, come on! And know your surroundings too, right? So, start again. There we go. Maybe. Keep it. Come on. Balance. There we go. A little bit of balance. Oh, keep it. Oh, come on. There, oh, that's it. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for watching. I appreciate you joining me. This was my personal yoga practice. This is what I do every day. 8 a.m. Feel free to join me. I'll be here tomorrow, most likely, and the day after, and the day after. And if you really want to watch the rest of it, all these videos, go over to YouTube, and you can see the beginning of this video and all the others. Spoiler, they're all pretty much the same, because this is my daily practice. I do much the same thing every day, so I can get better at it. All right, and I can type. Look at that. Cool stuff. All right, y'all enjoy. Have a good one. Take care.